Well, you're packing out your tour everywhere around Australia, which shows you that there's a lot of support and a lot of interest from people who just want to connect with someone who's actually speaking the truth after such a long period of silence from the health regulators in Australia. We have come a long way since the beginning of the COVID era. Today, you're able to partake in this public tour questioning Big Pharma and the actions of the government. But only a year ago, Cara, the state government in Victoria shot and beat protesters on the streets who were only asking for the right to basic medical liberty. Is the truth, in your opinion, going to win out?
I think nearly always the truth wins out in the end. And it'll be actually a question of how many people are prepared to stand up for it and how quickly we get to the overall truth of the policies and the evidence, and ensure that we're providing the right care to our communities and our patients, so that if this ever happens again, we make sure we do it right. And I just want to let people know that Dr. Malhotra is doing this all for love of humanity. He hasn't taken a single speaking, no money for speaking.
Well, that's because he seems to care deeply about the rights of Australian citizens and indeed citizens all around the world to maintain freedom of choice and genuine informed consent when it comes to the medical industry and medical treatments. You write that Australians have endured 3 years of relentless psychological manipulation through media and propaganda, misinformation from authorities, and medical censorship designed to create the illusion of consensus. End quote from your article. How do you feel about the revelations fresh out of the Twitter swamp from Senator Alex Antick's Freedom of Information request for social media at large, which shows that the government was actively censoring citizens on social media by request as they claim to maintain so-called confidence in the vaccine program? Does that worry you?
Very much, because it does, and like I wrote in the article, it's become, or it appears that regulators are now more interested in ensuring that we maintain the government public health messaging and trust in the government through enforced censorship to maintain the message than they are ensuring that we get proper evidence-based medicine and proper policies that actually prioritise the health and safety of our community. When it becomes their role to protect government instead of protecting people and patients, then I think we have a serious issue.
It's a little bit alarming to find out that what is essentially a hate speech and terror unit is watching the medical community about what they say. It seems a little bit off balance for what's going on. And finally, one last question, Cara. You wrote, for many there is an almost overwhelming sense of defeat that threatens to extinguish the fight. But for the love of truth, people and freedom, there remains hope. End quote. There are still many people in the medical industry who cannot return to their jobs because of this COVID nonsense. Are tours like this crucial in turning the tide and restoring people's lives, particularly in the medical community?
I think it's all very important to keep fighting to reveal what the truth is about our response to COVID. And it's the force of the why are we doing this? To adhere to our codes and oaths, for the love of humanity, to stand up for the vaccine injured that feel gaslit, to fight on their behalf and for others. And that force of your why can push you for any how. And it is very difficult when you've lost careers, relationships, finances, you're censored and punished, to keep going rather than just stay silent and move on. But like has been said before, they came for the such and such and I didn't speak up. And if you don't speak up, like Dr. Malhotra says in his talk, if you stay silent, it's not going to go away. It's just going to get worse down the line. So the more of us that speak up, the quicker this ends.
Well, Cara, we'd like to thank you very much from The Spectator for continuing to write and to fight in print for the people who have no voice. And you do an exceptional job, and enjoy the rest of your tour.
Thank you so much.